All right. What the hell is going on, everybody? And welcome back. We have a big best of 7 balance show match. We're going into Amphion map 1. Clem, I believe, did pick Amphion as his map. He's going to be playing against MaxPax in the top. And this is a fascinating patch because there's a lot of changes to Widow Mines that seems a bit overwhelming. But the biggest one is that building an armory no longer makes Widow Mines invisible. Now, don't get me wrong, Terran have slightly cheaper upgrades to compensate. Their armory costs 50 less gas. But if they want to get invisible Widow Mines after firing, they need to upgrade Drilling Claws, which means making a factory on a tech lab, an armory, and then upgrading that Drilling Claws upgrade, which is pretty rare against Protoss. It's very common against Zerg, where Terran are often pushing into them with Widow Mines and want to burrow and unburrow them very quickly. But against Protoss, it's very rare, and yet Widow Mines have been such a big central part of map control against Protoss for a long time. And I didn't realize quite how big this change was, because it was talking about, well, we don't want those armory Widow Mine drops where Terran just spams invisible Widow Mines into the base, and if the Protoss makes 1 or 2 small mistakes, it's game ending, and it was especially frustrating at low level, but even you'd see guys like Maru use it regularly and take down top Protoss players. Thing is, I realized when I was playing Heaven, who's really good at abusing Mass Zealot the other day, and don't get me wrong, I was playing some pretty sloppy games. I'm not the best player, not the most in control these days either, as a proxy third gate comes up for MaxPax. Nice 3-gate opening, good way to be aggressive on a map with so much space on the natural. I guess to finish my point quickly before the 3-gate adept starts warping in, yeah, basically Widow Mines are really good for map control. Not having them does change the early game and the mid game quite a lot in this matchup. And I really want to see how these pros adjust. I don't think we're going to get any conclusive evidence from this show match. I'm going to be trying to host more show matches with more players over the next week, especially focused around TvP, because I think this is the most important matchup for this patch to address. Last patch did kind of fall short on fixing the balance in that matchup, and this one really needs to do it. 2 probes do go down, but the Reaper falls. Adept goes down at the same time, though, so a little bit of a fumble for MaxPax on the micro, one could say. Now, Clem, did he see that second gate? He saw the second gate on the natural. Kind of saw a lot of the main as well. I think he should realize something's happening here. He's building Widow Mines, Marines. He has a bunker, and the Hellion will now see those 3 Adepts coming in. If they commit, that Hellion is dead. 3 shots will take it down. He's going to try and hide behind the bunker. And he does unload from said bunker. SCVs are going to need to tank. Oh my god, those Marines need to get back in the bunker. Get back in the bunker, mate. Oh. He's in trouble right now. He does have a Widow Mine on the high ground, but he lets the Adepts in. Oh, you could see that new bright red targeting line from these Widow Mines. Very easy to see what the Widow Mine's targeting these days, but you still need to react incredibly quickly to get that fixed. Oh, letting the Adepts in the main is going to be a bit unfortunate. And he's got a Cyclone about to pop. That should be Clem's saving grace here, as these Adepts being very annoying. Oh, he pulled every Marine from the natural. That's a big mistake. MaxPax all over Clem right now in this early game. And it feels like this has been a pretty good start for MaxPax. He's got Blink on the way behind it. He gets another SCV on the natural. And Clem caught off guard by the 3-gate on this map. Now, keep in mind, we're also looking at new maps as well. We're using the new map pool, so Oceanborn and a few of the other maps are still in here. But, oh my god, if he loses the Cyclone, he might just be dead. Okay, he does do a nice hot pickup. The 2 Marines in the bunker are doing well. I think with a Viking land. Oh, he barely saves that Cyclone. He's got to get that Cyclone out of there. Picks up the Cyclone and the Viking. He's only got 1 SCV to repair, though, but another Cyclone comes out on the high ground. Good micro by Clem. Clem desperately needs to shut this down. Oh my god, the Viking! He saves the Viking at the last second. The Viking and the Cyclone dodging multiple projectiles. But, oh my god, here comes another round. Clem not looking. Oh, he loses those 2 units after all that work to keep them alive for so long. He does save the SCV at the last second. At the end of the day, MaxPax has traded inefficiently, but you know, I don't even know if this is that big a lead for him. Let me check the upgrades and production. Yeah, Clem's production is really bad. Clem kind of has to go for a fast 3rd command center here, I would argue. The reason is his 2nd and 3rd barracks, his stim, his upgrades, they're going to be so far away that if he can squeeze in a quicker 3rd command center, that would be great. You see, he's taking the 3rd gas, which is Clem just following his build order, but you can see he's already got over 400 gas saved. So I actually think this is a big misplay, going 4 gas before 3rd command center. And I think Clem could have adapted to the situation he's in this build and this game much better by dropping a 3rd command center first, because you're not going to be able to kill him with your normal stim timing, I don't think. And you'd probably be better off having a bit of a bigger economy. Oh, Blink forward, very brave. Only losing 1 Stalker. Well, it's only a Cyclone, though. It's not the most important unit to be killing. But MaxPax playing a strong, solid style. Widowmine drop is going to come in here. Let's see exactly what he can pull out. Oh. Stalker recall. Good move. I mean, this is great for Clem. You know you forced the Stalkers to be home. And then you've seen the Robo Bay. You know there's going to be Colossus. You can maybe scout the saturation on the third. You can see the gas timing whenever you want by poking in. The third command center does finally come down for Clem. As you can see, Clem's already above 50 workers. And he will continue. Mostly focusing on bioproduction. I like that he noticed he was building a Reaper there. Cancels it, builds a Marine. You do not want to be wasting 50 gas on a Reaper at this stage of the game. This map's interesting. So, like I said, we're looking at new maps and new balance. This is by, the furthest thing from a closed testing environment. A nice little, clean, single thing we're testing. Stalker's going to blink across, go for the rally point. Nice move. Gets a Marauder, gets a Marine, gets an SCV on the command center, and then just blinks out to this left side. Opening those minerals, I think, seems like a good idea for the Terran. He does clean the Observer up before moving out once again. He wants to get rid of that gateway on the right side. And the first two medevacs finally about to hit the field. Unless you count this boy, which, oh, you can see that's actually a wall there. The hedge plus the gas creates a bit of a wall. Nice. Oh, he goes for the burrow on burrow, but nice blink down there from MaxPax to defend. Bio does clean up the gateway on the high ground. Stalkers are backing off. First Colossus is out, second Colossus coming in. +1 attack on the way for MaxPax, as well as he adds 5 more gateways. Looks like he's going to go to 7 gate. Charge, Colossus, probably Archons in the future. Widowmine drop's going to go around this left side. Now, I have been considering going after 5 barracks into second factory to get drilling claws in this matchup. But I don't think it's good. I was thinking about this a lot, going, hey, maybe we should just get drilling claws. I think by the time you get that investment up, Protoss is so deep into Colossus, Storm, Disruptors, Splash Damage 4 bases that having the Armory Widow Mines, it's kind of past the point where the invisibility on the mines is really that useful. So previously it was like you'd often build an Armory very earlier than you need it for upgrades, specifically to get the invisibility. But that's no longer going to be a very wise play. Oh, Medevac almost dies there. Stims a bit of his bio to try to scare the Stalkers back. Looks like the Widowmine drop comes in, doesn't really kill much. It's only killed 3 probes in this entire game. Nonetheless, Clem has a good supply advantage. Now, other than those Widowmine changes, like I said, remember the upgrades are a little bit cheaper for Tier 2 and Tier 3 upgrades for Terran. I think Tier 1's the same. So it used to be 100 for Tier 1, then 175 for both of the Tier 2s, 250, 250. I think both of those are 25 minerals and 25 gas cheaper. So I think it's 150 for Tier 2. I think Tier 3 is it 225 or 200? I'll check after this game and update you guys. Maybe someone in the Twitch chat, Jamie, look that one up, can help us out. Double upgrade's going to go into the main base. There's a shield battery there waiting, but no actual units. And chat confirms it is 200. So actually a big 50 minerals and 50 gas on each of those Tier 3 upgrades could help Clem later on in this game. He is going a quicker second eBay and Armory than we're used to seeing. That being said, it is kind of a slower game, so it does kind of make sense. Down in the bottom, Zealots coming in from the bottom. And these Zealot run-bys, normally peppering Widow Mines around the map would be so good at dealing with them, because Protoss doesn't have enough observers to send an observer with every pack of Zealots. Terran is going to be more forced on this patch to send packs of bio and medevacs around, cleaning these Zealots up and denying map control actively from the Protoss player. Now, there's also been a few other changes, guys. Unfortunately, MaxPax doesn't build observers, so we don't get to see them. Observers are a bit more visible, especially when they're sieged up. They throb faster, so it's easier to see the outline, and their model in general is a bit bigger. So the advantage that observers give of secretly knowing what your opponent's doing without them knowing that you know, which is so big in an RTS, has been nerfed. Ooh, okay, good micro by MaxPax so far, trying to pull back into that main. Stalker, Zealot, warp in to deal with it. But he's lost track of the army on the right. And this is Clem's opportunity. He's very damaged, but he's going to pounce the Nexus. Great move. Great move here for Clem. Gets that Nexus down in the bottom left. That drop does escape with 1 full medevac. Gets in, gets out, scot-free. MaxPax not too happy with losing that 3rd Nexus. His 4th one is up, so he could transfer some workers down there. And a bit of Bio Ghost kind of getting caught out on the rally. I do like that move for MaxPax, but he's a bit wary. Widow Mine's all over the shop right now. He's not on a move, which is why he wasn't cleaning that up. This drop's coming back in. High Templar could feedback that, I guess. But he's just a bit busy doing other things. Finally, the feedback goes down. There has been a change to feedback, which is massive for PvZ late game. Could also help in this matchup, where you can now spam feedback on enemy units, and it will not repeatedly cast it on the same unit. Stalker Archon Colossus coming forward. The Bio coming in with a decent angle, but the Colossus are doing a lot of damage, as is the Archon Splash potentially. If he had just one warp in of Zealots, MaxPax can clear this army, but he has to fall back to battery overcharge. This Bio over here does finally get defended. MaxPax way down in supply. Clem looking great so far. His supply is looking really good. His 2-2's on the way. Zealot, Stalker trying to take care of all of that. A couple of extra gateways going up. It's going to be 12 gates for MaxPax, but he's got to find a way to max out. That's easier said than done. I'd like to see some armor upgrades for him. He's got double forge, but he's just so poor right now that MaxPax is simply hanging on for dear life. I think he knows about these Widow Mines, and indeed he does. Takes both of them out. Nicely done. There's not a crazy Viking count, only 6, but even 6 Vikings is enough to kind of bully the Colossus a little bit. One of them goes down almost instantly, and does have battery overcharge. No, he doesn't. Oh god, it's still on cooldown from before. Uh-oh. Big commitment here for Clem, and I think it's a perfect timing. He just has the numbers advantage. He knew that was the moment to push. And Clem is going to win his map. Game 1, Amphion goes to Clem. All right, guys. We're here on Post-Youth. Game 2, Clem. This is the map where you get an in-base 3 gold patch expansion. And MaxPax in the top right. Funnily enough, MaxPax is still going Cybercore first. Like Cybercore before Nexus. And Clem's still trying to go for a 1-Rex expand. And I find this kind of bizarre. I really thought on this map, people would go Command Center first. They'd go Nexus first. I mean, you can't really go Nexus first a Reaper opening. So that's... that kind of answers that one, Pig. But I don't know. I was just expecting people to try to get the Command Center up a little bit faster. As usually you're a little bit safer as the Terran. But Clem did not scout. So he's saying, yeah, it'll be quick enough. Now, remember, you can take your 3rd down here. But that's very far. Or you can take your 3rd at the front, but that's also kind of awkward. Even once you open these minerals, you can kind of cover it from the high ground with tanks. And then there's a gold base out here with 1 gas and 6 mineral patches, but it's super exposed from high ground, from reverse side, high ground there. Lots of openings where you can take damage. It's going to get a probe. Oh, maybe not. The Adept pulling back there, making sure he doesn't overshoot with the shade. That's MaxPax being responsible and guarding that probe, making sure that probe can regen its shields on the right side of our screen. Because you know he's going to loop around. I like that probe block. Okay, he's going to get 2 hits on this, not to mention the probe bit, so the Reaper has to get out of there. Did he see the Twilight Council? Yes, he did. Good scouting for Clem. Now, MaxPax already puts 3 workers on the gold. He should definitely try to stack these workers up as much as possible to get optimal mining. But he's not doing that just yet. To be fair, I was obsessing over that too much my first times playing this map the other day. We've got a factory into a starport and a 3rd command center already for Clem. He's using that mineral boost to just squeeze a quick 3rd command center. Wow, okay. It would be great if MaxPax plays like 2-gate blink into a 3rd base. But on this map, does he do that? Or does he just try to 4-gate blink it? You could blink over here, but it only like you can't blink a lot of Stalkers across that gap. Adept does not catch the Reaper. You've got also this area you can blink up there into the main. You can blink here. I mean, there's a lot of area to cover with blink, but I think if you just got tank centered here, it kind of covers most of it. That's what we want to see, a very quick 3rd base. Reaper unable to scout that, though he might be able to surmise from how far forward the Adept is that that's the case. There's a Robo up, and I think overall, really kind of balanced economic play for both sides. 2nd barracks goes down. We've got, it looks like a Widow Mine drop will still be coming in this game. Senju in the chat points out, well, you can actually waypoint the Stalkers. So each one moves there, blinks there, moves forward. And as long as they kind of run forward in a line, they'll blink in one at a time. Yeah, it's just you can't really do that in combat very easily. So you can use it to get in, but then getting out is super awkward and stuff. So, I mean, we've seen the best players in the world like Parting and Hero do that. And there are times where if there's more resistance than they expected to blink into, they end up losing like 6 Stalkers, and it's terribly bad. So it's possible, but it's dangerous. We've got a bit of sewage going across this map, guys. Post-Youth, I think is that sewage? Maybe it's fresh water. Maybe that does not look clean. Those are bits of Florencio juice going through that water, that's for sure. Medevac in the back of the main base going to be coming in. We've got the Robo Bay coming up. I want to see some of those bright red lines. Stalkers will not be able to kill that in time. Got to make sure there's only 1 target. Otherwise, Clem will keep changing targets like that. Nicely done. I think the Reaper just went down on the other side as well. It just ran in there and died to these 2 Stalkers. Still single Widow Mine in the back. Clem, Stim, Shields, Marauders, Marines. +1 attack. Should be starting up momentarily. He doesn't have the money for it just yet. And he's going to try and move that 3rd forward out to the left side. Because this gold minerals give you a bit of a boost, that is nice, but they mine out pretty quickly as well, so you got to be careful. 4th and 5th barracks on the way, +1 weapon starts, and 46 workers for Clem, 52 for MaxPax. I think that feels just fine as the Terran player, especially with some Raven harass coming in behind this base. Probably force a shield battery out of his opponent. Looks like the Adept's going to go down. Stalkers are going to come forward. Picks off a Marine, makes it 2, makes it 3. The Adept does go down. Maybe could have saved that Adept for a bit of tanking later, but good trades on those other units. Raven. The reason we selected the Raven is the auto turret's kills are the Raven's kills. Only gets 1 kill there. It's pretty good defense for MaxPax. Oh, and this is that Stalker positioning I was talking about. He should have broken these minerals open. Oh, Clem didn't open these minerals yet, making it much harder to get up here. Great usage of the Stalkers and the map for MaxPax. And this is really cool to see. Even though it feels like, you know, Clem had a really good economy, he's got to open those minerals up or his army has to, like, run back and forwards, and the Observer sees everything right now. Now, remember, a little bit easier to see that Observer, but it's just there. It's kind of hard to see. Guys, did the change not go through? That looks like the old animation speed. Maybe the community balance patch is broken, I'm not 100% sure. Stalkers blink in, they kill an add-on. 2 Stalkers go down before being forced to recall. Still 2 Stalkers on the left ready for the Raven, and that one on the right. The Observer does get scanned and taken down, but if we see any more Observers in surveillance mode, that's when they're meant to throb a little bit faster, and that looked like the old throbbing speed. Hard to judge. I'm not the master of the throb, what can I say? You might think I am with how I commentate video games, but it definitely looked like the old one to me. So not sure if that's just this community balance patch mod that doesn't quite have the information in there, because that looked different to the GIFs that people had made showcasing the change. Anyways, Widowmine does shoot, but the Stalkers, of course, dodge it. Great Stalker usage from MaxPax, but he doesn't have recall right now, so he's going to lose all 5 Stalkers. This is a bad one. He's just got to trade them on the SCVs. There's no more damage he can do. Tries to target an SCV that was disappearing into the worker line. He gets 3 SCVs for 5 Stalkers. That's what we call a bad trade for the Protoss. You got to be careful when you've just used recall like that. And this is one of the downsides of MaxPax's low Observer style, is he's so reliant on his Stalkers and Zealots to spot where his opponent's at. Does cost him. Remember, Observers also build a little bit quicker now on this new patch. So you can build them without sacrificing as much robo production time. However, they do still cost, of course, 75 gas per robo, per Observer. Okay, Stalker's there. Seeing the push coming forwards. He'd like to take the gold on the 4th with MaxPax, but for now, it's Stalkers, Sentries, and Colossus. It's not the highest tier army. Interesting positioning for him. Does shave off 5 Marines. Nicely done. The way Clem is just set up out here, though, ready to spam auto turrets in the main, in the natural. There's cannon battery there. It's the main base that I'm actually a bit more worried about. Comes down. Looks like he took maybe a Widowmine hit there. Not quite sure what that was. That gold nexus is sticking out right now like a sore thumb. The watchtowers on this map, you'll notice you need to kill the rocks before you can actually take, put a unit at the watchtower. I think maybe there's space to drop a Zergling there. That might be one thing I start doing a Zerg on this map, is just dropping a Zergling on each watchtower. I feel like I could squeeze a Zergling in there. Cannon battery on this base. Should be able to defend 1 cannon, but 3 auto turrets are going to cause issues. They will focus the battery down, but they're not really going to kill anything else. So you know what? Losing 100 mineral shield battery, not a big deal. How many Vikings? We got 4 Vikings out right now. Ghosts are hitting the field. Archons are kind of counted by Ghosts. MaxPax down 30 army supply in this game. Oof. Saw another good Widowmine hit go off there. Remember, the Widowmine splash radius has been nerfed, but it actually doesn't seem to, in the tests that we've seen so far, actually affect it that much. It's a very marginal. We saw stacked up probes in the old splash, 25 would die. In the new one, 21 probes would die. So it matters. Don't get me wrong, it matters, but it's not as big as the kind of 26% total area would have make you think it is, just due to the way units stack in StarCraft and the way the kind of radius works. Stalker's coming forward. Bio on the left there. Another Stalker does go down. It really feels like MaxPax wants to hit here pre-EMP. That Observer being just out of range is great. That definitely is the old throb, I'm pretty sure, guys. You can see it's very slowly throbbing. Yeah, that's the old one. The new one definitely looks a little bit more frenetic. I like the Zealot drop, but look at that. A Viking, a turret, and a reactive drop. Dude, he's so good. MaxPax dives into the gold minerals, though. Picks off 7 SCVs. At least he gets some value there. He's got a second Robo and Disruptors on the way. MaxPax, he's got 2 Observers out right now. Oh, the Zealots in the main actually end up beating the drop, or at least doing pretty well against it. Finally, the rally will help him defend. A couple Widowmines go down, but so does an Archon. Clem's micro is just so good. Stalker's blinking back there after picking off a Viking. Units lost tab. Right now, 500 resources in favor of the Terran, who does have his 4th fully established, 65 workers, 5th base on the way. MaxPax has not started the 5th Nexus. He's going to try and start it on the right, but look at this. Clem's map control with those Marines is fantastic. Now, there are 2 observers out, one with the army, one down here still, giving some great angle. And with no batteries, looks like double auto turret comes in, but he's not focus firing with those auto turrets, so I gotta say, not Clem's best auto turret usage today. Ooh, Disruptor gets focused down. Great play there by Clem. 5th base goes down on the right side. Widowmine drop tries to come in. I'm amazed that Clem, honestly, he used to F2 so much, so many Terrans did. He's so organized these days. The fact that the Raven and the Widowmine drop have not F2'd, they have not been used, you know, no selecting all army. It's very nice to see. Another observer here with some good spotting, but he desperately needs splash damage. 3rd Robo's on the way. He just has only 2 Disruptors right now. MaxPax needs to camp at the shield battery. He needs to try and use these balls. Clem can maybe use the positioning. These maps are so interesting in their layout. There's like a lot of weird things that can happen with all these different choke points and ridges. And I just love that there's different layouts on the maps. I don't think they're going to be the most fair, the most balanced for every situation. But I'm personally just really happy to see a lot more variety in these tournaments. Oh my god, big ball. Okay, big spready there for Clem. He comes around the right side as well. Big disruptor on the left, but great dodge at the last second for Clem. Marauder overwhelming against the Arc on Stalker. The right flank does go down though. As these disruptors come forward, they can cover his retreat. Vikings coming forward though, and that last Colossus, not long for this world. Stalker's unable to punish those Vikings. Really well played here by Clem. Disruptor counts up to 5 though, with 3 building at a time. So I think MaxPax is still in it. But keep in mind, his army is so fragile because it's going to be 2-2 upgrade soon against a guy who's only got +3 attack. So MaxPax has high damage, but it is a kill or be killed army. It is a little bit binary when you go for these upgrades. You are like, my army does good damage, but it is so soft. Clem's fighting with only a small section of units right now. He's got to be careful with this. Oh, good pullback on the Zealots at the last second. I thought he was going to friendly fire himself. Marauder does go down to that shot. MaxPax is doing a decent job of holding the mid ground. Problem is, of course, that Clem, still being a nuisance, double auto turret again, Widowmine drop going down the right side. But Clem has multiple command centers that have come up on the left side. Stalkers are finally going to pounce on this wounded army. Clem does not have the... oh, big disruptor shots landing. Nice plays here by MaxPax. And he's going to keep using these to siege this base down. Yeah, 6 SCVs, but he loses 5 probes on the right side to that. Oh, no, that was to the Raven, I guess, killing the red hit point cannon. So the Widowmine drop on the right has actually not been microed, funnily enough. That probe could kill it if Clem doesn't notice. 15 hit points. It looks like it might die. Indeed, it will. Disruptor shots here in this cramped space. You can't really dodge the disruptors. Dude, MaxPax is actually all over it. Once he got the balls up, he's actually been able to land big hits all over Clem. He's got disruptors going out on all sides, but most of them have been dodged. 2 last disruptors going out before he's empty. He's going to have to pull back right now. MaxPax needs to buy a little bit of time, but his army's so fragile. He's got to get back. He can't lose all these disruptors. He's got them coming off cooldown now, and that will save his bacon. Units lost tab, 3,000 resource lost in advantage of Clem. Clem's got more orbitals coming up. If he can get those going, get his 5th base established, which he has now. I definitely think Clem's still winning this game. He's got +3 attack started. Remember, that's only 200 minerals, 200 gas now. If he could also start +3 armor, that would be amazing. Oh, disruptor shots going forward. Oh, does clip a Marauder there. Nicely done. I'd like to see a sentry in this army. I don't know, just for Guardian Shield, but obviously, there we go. 2 sentries warping in. MaxPax focusing on those details. He's mixing Immortals now. There's only 5 Vikings, so I would like to see him start going back into Colossus at this point. I think it's been long enough, and of course those Vikings are... Well, if it was any other Terran, they would lose them, but Clem keeps his Vikings alive very well. Ghosts getting picked off by disruptors. The endless ball shots. I mean, right now, Clem is at the end of a bowling alley, waiting for his opponent to run out of shots, and it's just not happening. MaxPax is rich, man. He's going to be playing that lane all night. Auto turret does come down. Bunch of probes do fall. That Raven being alive this whole time is finally stacking up value. 14 kills. Oh, disruptors go out. That's 5 SCVs. Great spready on the south at the same time. Clem's speed is insane. Currently, 425 APM for Clem, 350 for MaxPax. MaxPax always has struck me as a player who's actually incredibly fast, but precise. He is very organized in how he does things. He's on 3-1 against 3-2. Not making any more upgrades just yet. Oh, he's catching Clem, not looking! And that's a big shot. Vikings, Ghosts going down, and killing those Vikings is actually really big. I'd like to see I'd like to see MaxPax now go into those Colossus and maybe Psystorm. I know Psystorm's a bit weird, but against those libs, we know it is one of the best tools for dealing with libs. And that is, of course, going to be the next step. 6th base does get cancelled. He's going to go for a bit of a doomy droppy. Stalker's warping in. It's enough to 2-shot some Medivacs, but there's so many Medivacs. How do you know which ones even have units on them? Oh, he EMPs it, so he can't recall to that base. He could recall to this base, potentially, but he's just going to run back his MaxPax. Stalker's just blinked there defensively, which means they can't punish right now. Few seconds till Blink is ready. And you know what? I think he's going to be losing this entire army as Clem. No, picks up. There's too many Medivacs to focus fire. Saves a fair amount of those units. Units lost have 2,000 resources in favor of Clem still, though. If we look at the actual production, did he lose any tech there? I don't think MaxPax lost any tech. He's got 10 disruptors in the open. Oh my god, he's got it. You just got to unload. Okay, the Stalkers and Zealots come down. This could actually work for MaxPax's favor. Sometimes leaving a bit of a trap out there, a bit of a bait can really work in your favor, but in this case, he does just back away. Raven on the right side still being a nuisance. The single Zealot comes in the left. No extra armor upgrades or anything like that here for MaxPax. He's looking at getting it done with this army. MaxPax has decided winning the game with this army is the play. I'd like to see him blink on those Medivacs, perhaps. We have seen a Fusion Core. No Fusion Core. So no lib range, no Medivac energy upgrade. And you see the Medivac energy is actually very low. So that Medivac energy upgrade it's an exceptional tool in the late game of pretty much every bio-focused matchup. Disruptor's going out, kind of just zoning, making sure he's not in too much trouble. MaxPax starts to retake his 6th base on that left side. Disruptors go out there, taking out some of these Marauders. Big flank coming in. Clem wants to fight him. The balls are going to need to cover his retreat. I think this is a really mature... He doesn't panic. He's just throwing the Disruptors out 1 or 2 at a time. Oh, that one's going to get cancelled, though. Great moves by Clem. Clem just punishing that Disruptor shot was actually huge. And all the Disruptors are empty right now. Stalker's trying to pull back. Oh my god, this army's too weak. There's no Colossus. He never rebuilt the Colossus. There was no Psystorm to stop the kind of Cavalier charging advance of Clem. And Clem's actually got a massive position now. He's just dodging almost all the Disruptor shots. A few Marauders go down, but not that many. And this base will end up falling, as well as a lot of probes. Huge wins here for Clem. Same time, Clem did lose his left base as well as an extra orbital. He lost the base and the orbital. Oh my god, he's got 5 orbitals still, so he did save some of them. Looks like 1 orbital did lift off. But he lost a bunch of his command centers there, which is actually massive. And this army's hugely wounded. Oh, Clem's too deep in Protoss territory. He might have to run away right now. He's still healing up. Oh my god, he clicks on the Disruptor. No, he clicks on it too late. Clem, a fraction of a second from stopping that Disruptor shot, but it was too risky of a move. And about 8 Marauders pay for that with their life. Only 3-1 upgrades for MaxPax. Clem is on the 3-3. But MaxPax is playing an exceptional late game here on post-youth. What a crazy map this is, and it's really cool to see the players adapt in real time. No doubt they've had next to no practice on these maps, and it is really basically their first experiences trying to teabag each other, trying to take care of each other as much as possible. 16 kills on that Raven. Make it 17. And almost gets another one. The DTs do defend. Command center in the open, that's huge. He's going to go for the base trade. Clem, I think, wisely going for a sort of base trade maneuver, but he's already losing an orbital. This base will get boom-boomed by the balls if he chooses to shoot. Stalkers will just blink and take it out. +3 attack, Stalkers do a lot of damage. DT's running down the left side. There is a turret there with some libs, though, so unless he clicks the turret instantly, he could lose them all. Good pullback by MaxPax. He's got a few DTs here. I don't think he has any disruptors at home. I wonder if he's thinking about recalling. DT's doing good damage. Scan does go down, but not until a bit of stuff has happened. He's going to take out all these bases. Nice moves for MaxPax. He does take out his own Dark Templar with a Disruptor shot. Not his finest move, but not too bad either. More Zealots warping in right now. He's going to have Zealots on the left side. He's going to try and run those away. If he could run these probes away, that'd be great as well. Oh my god, MaxPax has lost every probe. He's not really prepared for the base trade right now. He's going to lose every single probe. He's coming back to fight this. Oh, this is a problem. If this resets, he needs to crush this army. He's going to try and blink forward. Disruptor shot's not really in range of the bio. Luckily for him, there's only 2 libs here. And, oh, Disruptor shot's starting to clip that army. But MaxPax, he's down in army supply, and he's just lost every probe. He did not run probes from any of these bases. He did a lot of other things very well. But if you don't run any workers away in a base trade, it punishes you. Don't get me wrong, Clem's mining sucks. But if Clem lands a base, puts those 20 workers on it, drops some mules, especially with 4 orbitals still alive, he will, of course, be favored. MaxPax is looking to roam around the left side. The DTs could be very helpful, but he's going to get surrounded. There's an army up north, but actually he's going to pounce before this army can get on top of him. Great disruptor shot, gets a bunch of ghosts and marauders. Another great disruptor shot. Clem, way too slow to react, and Clem with a bit of a fumble there. MaxPax pounces. Don't get me wrong, Clem finds the other Nexus, but he loses so much bio to do this. This was a great fight for MaxPax, who can hunt this whole army down now. I'd like to see him blink forward one more time. And looks like he's going to try and chase right up that ramp. He's got to use the disruptors, though. He can't blink too far in front. As remember, MaxPax has no income. And he's only got 7 Stalkers, so every Liberator is actually kind of a problem. He loses another Stalker, almost. No, he almost lost a Disruptor there. Oh, Disruptor shots going out north. I like that evacuate from the bunker. Clem even stimmed and focus fired the bunker on a Disruptor before that. Down to the wire. But this is huge. The income in the top left side. Clem has managed to get that income up, which is really big. Disruptors trying to come forward. Oh, this is huge. Clem's got it. I think Clem's got it. The Disruptors go out. MaxPax just doesn't have enough ranged firepower. Great dodges here. That last Disruptor shot. No, it's not going to be enough, I don't think. The Archon Stalker trying to move into the base. The anti-armor missile helping out so much. And Clem... Wow, what a clutch run in there. MaxPax tried to push into the production, but Clem was mining that top left base with mules and SCVs. He was able to keep producing Marine Marauder, and that meant MaxPax had to push in and force the victory. Clem leading 2-0. All right, guys, Clem in the top right looking fantastic. I thought MaxPax had actually snatched that one back, but was not able as we go into Ghost River. This is a Maras map, I believe. It's a fantastically interesting map. A unique layout. You can see this is the path across the map. And if we look at the blink angle, decent blink angles into that main. As, you know, blinking from here to here. You can also technically blink from there to there, or there to there if you have high ground vision from the low ground, or from the high ground to evacuate the natural. You can always do it. There's a tank over here. You know, you can blink in around behind the gases. There's a lot of cool things you can do as a Protoss player to try and abuse the Terran. I loved MaxPax's usage earlier on in game, in that last game, of the Stalkers to just kind of bounce around and that sort of stuff. Can siege tanks from the low ground hit the gas in the natural? Could a tank there hit the gas in the natural? I think it would be just out of range. Just eyeballing it though, so it's close, but I think a tank there would reach to like about here. Reaper takes a few hits. Adept does barrel across this map, but Clem is being defensively responsible. Has a bunker up. And that's going to be defended for now as the Shade just scouts around, denies an SCV from mining, no big deal. Hellion into Starport. Clem is playing stock standard. Blinkers on the way. Adept hanging out behind the natural. Widowmine is building. We've got some Marines and Hellions coming forward. Adepts are out. Oh, Hellion's going to drive past. Adepts are going to shade forward. Oh, gets himself an SCV. Bit of a mistake here for Clem. Widowmine. Oh, good on Burrow. If he let that Widowmine fire, it would have killed 2 of his own SCVs. That actually ends up being very good for Clem. 2 Adepts for 2 SCVs, I think, is a perfectly fine trade. And if I were him, I would barrel across this map with the Marines, the Hellions, the Mines, and the Medevac, just saying, hey, let's see if we can, you know, set up some traps on the map, maybe. I guess there's no real high ground to ambush Stalkers on, though. Stalkers are very well set up on the defense, so, yeah, he's playing it a bit safer. Hellion scouting. Widowmine drop better divert. You do not want that to get spotted by the Stalker. But MaxPax does... Only got vision of it for half a second. Not sure if he realized it's there. I do like this Stalker positioning, though. Look at that. Oh, very nice. Anytime you can intercept the Medevac with the mine coming, it's so huge. I remember when everyone was mine dropping a few years ago, and every game I would try to intercept with Stalkers, and it feels so good as a Protoss player if you can do this. Because if your opponent's a crazy person, yes, he could still try to drop. But if he has any safety at all, he'll go home and repair. MaxPax, though, is like, hey, I'm playing Clem. This guy's a crazy person. Unfortunately, the Stalker didn't position on the edge of the map, which is a bit of a bummer. He's going to try and catch the Hellion. Got 3-gate blink. And Clem's risky behavior is going to get rewarded. As, of course, MaxPax is going to do a 3-gate blink pressure. I like this. It's an in-between pressure, guys. He's just got himself 8 Stalkers on the front. Not a crazy force. But there is a tank well positioned in the production. Oh, Clem with a very safe position. Nicely done. Really well done. Stalkers need to get out of there, though. He loses a Stalker. Nice play there by Clem. Medevac does drop inside the main base. Good reaction so far by Mr. MaxPax. Stalker does come in. Oh, he wants to kill that Medevac, but it's not worth losing a Stalker for it. Ouchies. Stalkers blink back in the main. Another Stalker does go down. Raven does take a lot of damage, though. He's lost 4 Stalkers now. 3 over here in the main, 1 on the other side. He gets the Raven. If you could get the stim as well, that would be great. He could spread and come in from that angle and kill it while only taking a few tank shots, but because the natural has 2 bunkers on it, Clem is super focused on just keeping his main safe. Comes back in with those Widow Mines. He drops them a bit early, though, before they're actually recharged, and he will lose one of those. Oh, and he tries to target a Stalker, which means he actually doesn't get any kills. Great defense by MaxPax. Remember, MaxPax has a 3rd this whole time. Does Clem didn't see the 3rd. So Clem might not realize how greedy MaxPax has been. Forge is down. You know what happens next, guys. Charge. Most people would build observers. It's MaxPax, though, so he'll probably only build 1, and he'll probably go straight up into Robo Bay, get an Immortal and a Sentry, and see what he can do. Ooh, okay. Oh, he's going to get stim. Oh, that's huge. Well worth it. But because he blinked back, the Stalkers are very damaged. Great Prism Micro. Dude, did he just not lose any Stalkers there? Picked off a bunch of Marines and stim. Clem stuck in his corner, has to go 3rd command center. MaxPax looking fantastic. He's going to build an observer, 4 more gateways, 2 sentries, 5 gates in fact. So he's going to go 8 gate, Colossus, 4th gas. Whenever you go Robo Bay, you need at least 4 gas to support that. This is awesome. All right, we've got turrets coming up, or at least one on the natural. 2 bunkers are still there. MaxPax has played an exceptionally clean opening so far. He could drop back here, but if he drops any closer, he's going to take tank shots. Ouch. Doesn't get any kills there. Does take a bit of damage on the Stalkers. Good defense by Clem. He's going to sneak another Widow Mine drop out on the south. People have been asking, so how many new maps are there? Guys, there are, I believe it's 5 new maps and 4 old maps. If you want the list, as always, you can, type !patch in my Twitch chat. We've got the links there to the official post, linking all of them. Can't remember which old maps are still in it. I think it's like Sight Delta, Oceanborn, Alcyon. I can't remember what the 4th one is. Golden Aura as well. Clem did veto Golden Aura at the start of this series. MaxPax vetoing Alcyon. Oh, this is nasty, man. He's like, Widow Mines might not be invisible, but I'm Clem. I can still just kill you with Widow Mine drops because I'm very good at StarCraft. Dude, this is very hard to deal with. He gets a Sentry. A ton of mining time. And look at this. He keeps burrowing and unburrowing. Even's going to get 4 probes there as well. Oh, he's so annoying. And he blinks. He stims on the Stalkers as well. Oh my god, MaxPax was in complete control of this game. But Clem double Widow Mine drops him. MaxPax refuses to pull all of his Stalkers home. He loses like 5 more Stalkers, a Sentry, a bunch of probes. There's still 2 mines and 2 different medevacs out there. Amazing play from Clem. Now, a drop does come in with some Zealots, but it gets blocked there. And honestly, Clem is just fighting his way back into this game with the power of super well microed multi-pronged Widow Mine drops. What an absolute beast. The new Widow Mine animation I'm a big fan of, guys. Very visible. Really just no way to miss that. It looks a little less pretty, but I do not care. I think it's perfectly fine. I think it's great, actually. Oh, he's got a snap recall if he wants to save the Prism. He's just going to unload. And he does barely get out. Oh, he barely saves it. Stalker getting picked off in the mid, though. Feels like MaxPax went from a great early game being really efficient to a bit of a rough position. Just doesn't quite have the numbers to fight that, even though the positioning looked good. There's only 1 tank, so at least... Or there's 2 tanks on the map, but I think one of them's at home, so I think he's doing all right. Zealot run by comes in. We'll pick off a few SCVs. He's going to try and chase the army. He gets rid of a medevac. Another one almost goes down. Nice moves here by MaxPax. He's going to also... bait that Widow Mine, gets the shot out, does end up picking it off. Widow Mine drops are going to go back, and he's got one up behind the main. Not using that one just yet. Of course, Clem trying to multitask like a monster. He's going to send this one in. And only 1 probe there. Could have been better for him. MaxPax is going to push, though. MaxPax has had enough. It's go time. He's going to go for it. I don't think he can kill him here, though. I think he might be screwed. Oh, MaxPax overcommitting. hardcore. He does get rid of the tank, but look at that arc of bio. That was actually a beautiful surround there, and this is a position you're going to have to be really careful of. The force field saves him from being chased, which is good. Stalkers are warping in, and look at that mature decision-making from Mr. Clem, and abusing the dead space with these medevacs. Protoss that does not have a Stargate does not have a lot of recourse against this sort of play. That being said, MaxPax has a 4th base. He's going 2nd Robo, but he's going to need more gases if he wants to use that. So I really would like to see... I mean, he's forgotten extended thermal lance. He's got a 4th Colossus with no extended thermal lance. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's a problem. He's going to go +1 armor after +1 attack. 2nd Forge starts. He starts a 3rd Robo now. That's definitely a mistake. I mean, maybe not. He's starting 2 gases, so I guess he is realizing he needs gas, but... feels like Clem is kind of out multitasking MaxPax in this game. These guys are always so closely matched, and it is so back and forth, but Clem is so friggin' difficult to beat, and he adapts to these new maps so fast. The plasticity of the brains of these young kids is just ridiculous, you know? I get on a new map, and I feel like I'm lost in the woods, and I've never been to these woods. Everything's unfamiliar. It's a different biome. There's no familiar Australian plants or animals. I just feel confused when I'm on a new map, and I kind of fumble around and slowly figure things out. These guys pick things up so bloody quickly. I'm sure they'll say, oh no, I was playing really bad. This was way worse than normal or something like that. But, I mean, they always say that while playing perfect StarCraft games, don't they? 2 Disruptors are on the way. The 4 Colossus with no extended thermal lance, which means they have 7 range rather than 9. No thick beams for these Colossus. 2-2 is on the way for Terran. Remember, 150, 150 for each of these upgrades. Oh, thank you so much, Non-Imber, for the tip, by the way. Vikings coming forward. Marine Marauder helping us out. We've got 3 more barracks coming in. Turrets going up on that north side. Planetary on the south. Okay, the Zealots here. We've got 4 Colossus. Still not realizing. He's probably not going to realize until they're all dead that he doesn't have extended thermal lance when he tries to start a step here. Oh, he's only got a few disruptors. First disruptor shots are decent, but man, Clem's spreads are so good. He's got to get back. Oh, this one could save the day. Gets a few Marauders, but he's already lost a few of these disruptors. 1 of the Colossus, 2 of the Colossus go down. Battery overcharge goes up. Not a moment too soon. It's just not enough. He just doesn't have the numbers, man. Clem, power overwhelming. He was behind in that game. The double armory, or the double Widowmine drop, I should say, and just insane micro doing the work. MaxPax not able to get up past that point. And was there even EMP in there, guys? He didn't even have 2-2. There was EMP, yeah. EMP, Marauder, perfect Viking count. Beautiful timing there from Clem. All right, guys, MaxPax in the top right here of Crimson Core. It's back on his map pick, and Clem has eBay blocked him. He's going to take the rich gas base at the front. Okay, wow. Now, remember, Cyclone follow-up to this is super powerful. However, Cyclones do a bit less damage this patch. Problem, they also got 20 more hit points. I don't really know. I feel like the less damage and the fact that they can't instantly lock onto new targets should make them weaker at pro level. But I kind of hope that Clem goes for like a 4 Cyclone push, just so we can really see the Stalker up against Cyclone interaction and see how that plays out. Command center on the high ground is here. MaxPax sees it. Clem has not spotted the expansion yet. I think he thinks he's blocking a Nexus right now, guys. MaxPax is like, oh, you silly boy. You don't even realize. He's disrupting the command center as well. Oh, the repair. Clutch repair. I thought, I was like, why is that not dead? But nice repair there. And he's trying to come back to scout. Clem still is like, where the hell? What are you doing? Am I getting 1-based? So Clem might play a little bit paranoid here, and he still hasn't cancelled the eBay to get that refund, which he could be putting into more things back at home. He's going to get inside that main base. You'll see a shield battery and a Stargate. Good scout for him as the Adept comes across the map. First 4 Marines are out here. Still not cancelling the eBay. He just hasn't thought to check the rich gas. Oh my gosh. Oh my god, Clem. Clem, there's another base right there. He's like, you wouldn't take that. That's so exposed. That's so dangerous. Dude, Protoss loves rich gas. It is not Cyclones, of course. It's just Marines into... Well, a Cyclone is meant to build, but he's waiting for the command center to unsupply block him. Clem's just like, what's happening? He gets her and he's like, oh, okay. Oh, there's a rich gas base there, right. I do love this base, by the way, especially in PvZ. This was always my 4th base. Try to wall off the 3rd there and then try to just defend this one kind of central area. First Phoenix is going to fly in. There is a Cyclone out. Where is that? Up in the main base. Sorry for the shaky camera movement. Medevacs on the way now as well. A lot of players would cancel that, make a Viking in a 3rd command center. But Clem is quite an aggressive player. Is he going to just build a tank? My lord. Man's going to try and kill that rich gas base. There is a robo on the way, and it is at the rich gas base. MaxPax has to defend this location. Tanks down here can siege the whole high ground. But Immortals can kind of skirmish with them, especially if there's an Immortal getting healed by a shield battery here, shooting a tank there. That could be big. Sees the Marines coming. Look at this little Cyclone Marine flank on the right. Nice move. He gets a little bit of tickle damage beyond the shields of that Phoenix. Only 1 Stalker, 1 Adept, and 4 Phoenix on the map. The first Immortal being built. MaxPax trying to build more pylons right now. He's going to need another one of those so that he can build a 2nd Immortal. SCVs are being pulled. Tank is on the way. It's a giant push for Clem here. He wants the 4-0. He wants to wipe the floor with MaxPax. We were talking between the games about how Clem adapts to these patches very fast as an aggressive Terran player. MaxPax more of a defensive player who likes to optimize things. Yes, he gets aggressive in the later stages, but his early and mid game is so defensive. And he really takes a lot longer to adapt to these patches. Now, the Immortal did get a shot off, but you got to be careful. Those probes getting 1 shot is deadly. I think he's going to wait for the 2nd Immortal and then try to run forward and focus that tank. Unfortunately, no battery in range to really deal with it. The Phoenix are at least picking off the reinforcements. Oh, there's a tank there, but I don't think he can kill it in time. Yeah, he's going to have to drop it. Good mature decision to give up that kill. On the right side, Liberator flies into the main base, guys. That's going to cause problems as well. The Immortals coming forward, and 1 tank will go down. 2nd tank will also go down, and he'll save both Immortals. Lovely play. Liberator not sieged up in the main base. Getting rid of those tanks is everything. And now with the Colossus on the way, that's going to be huge. There's a Marine drop going around. Clem has swapped from direct frontal kill focus to multi-prong focus. And oh man, that's a huge problem. The Immortals were running forward along with these Stalkers. But because of that, he was distracted. Very slow to respond. He's recalling his Phoenix. But man, look at all this damage. Luckily, he does have shield battery there. He's going to have to just pick up the Marines, though. Tries to focus the medevac down first. The Phoenix can easily beat those Marines. But of course, he's under pressure at the front. 1 bunker does get taken down. I'd like to see him just pick up. Finally, there we go. Picks up those Marines. They all start to go down, and all the Marines do fall. Liberator did escape, though, as did these units, unsieging and going home. 3 barracks are now coming up. Stim's on the way. Was that enough damage for Clem? Well, the worker count says, heck yeah. He's up 12 workers. Army count is really good for MaxPax, but what can he do with that army is the question. I mean, maybe he can just kill him. The Colossus could kill like unlimited Marines. There's only 1 Viking really to deal with this. There's 5 Phoenix. I don't think you can defend this push. Clem has a Liberator on the top of the map that will try to go into counterattack, try to force him away, but that's a dead command center. He's going to cancel it. Clem, nice cancel there. And this is where MaxPax can definitely recover the economy. Good, quick Stalker warp in. And he should just pull his probes away. Oh, battery. Very nice. Battery overcharge there, but Clem quickly retargets on the probes, realizing they can get 1 shot. And he gets 6 probes. 7 probes. Very nice. Yeah, MaxPax should have just pulled the probes away there. 7 probes, not really worth it. If Clem wasn't watching and didn't target fire, that would have been perfect for MaxPax, but against a guy as good as Clem, that was kind of relying on Clem making a mistake, or I wouldn't say making a mistake, but not optimizing his response, and of course he did that very well. Double drop going across the map with Stim. That's a game ender. Because Recall's still not ready for another 20 seconds. Oh, it might just barely be ready, but he doesn't have energy there. He does have energy on the natural. His Phoenix aren't going to be in position. I mean, this is nice little harassment for MaxPax, but those 7 probes and now the double drop. Oh, MaxPax is in trubs. His army's so far out of position, and there's just no running for these probes. He's going to try and run through the Marines, realizing, well, they're cornered if they run away behind the mineral line. And that's another 11 probes going down. I'm telling you, just wild, aggressive play on new maps, on new balance. This is the way to learn as quickly as possible. And Clem's style, it's just very much suited to this. I think I got to stop doing show matches with Clem on new balance patches because he always 4-0s them. It's unless he's playing hero, you know, a player who's the god of the new patches, or maybe Dark is also very good at adapting. I think Clem is just so in his element on this. That being said, MaxPax still has a good army. It's not over yet, but definitely doesn't look ideal for our Protoss player. He's had a rough start so far. We try and pick off some of these Widow Mines, and he'll get them. Nicely done. MaxPax on 45 probes. He's reprobing, adding charge, adding a forge. He does have 4 Colossus out. They do have extended thermal lance this time around. Oh, great range there. He's going to set off one Widow Mine with a probe, but no, doesn't quite get in range in time. One Widow Mine does go down. The Terran army comes close enough. The Colossus Splash could kill the Widow Mines. Oh, Phoenix take out a Viking. Nicely done. Purposely tanking these Widow Mines with Stalkers. I think this is a bit of an all-in for MaxPax, but it could work out. The Phoenix just need to get rid of those last Vikings. If he can do that, he could win this game. Those 4 Colossus are just such a problem. Missile turret actually really helps out. Nice defensive stutter step. Good Marines coming in from both sides. Still so many Colossus though. Oh my gosh. So many SCVs going down. MaxPax not going to go down without a fight. Those are mortals. 8 kills on one, 5 kills on another. The 2 Colossus each with 9 and 5 kills apiece. And this elite section of Protoss units says we are not easy to deal with. We're going to kill every worker on your third base. At this point, MaxPax could pull out of this if he chooses to. He's just warping it off a pylon, not even a gateway, not even a fast warp-in building. He's still damaging this command center. He just doesn't want to lose these units. That's kind of the fear here, is what if I lose these Colossus? Oh, the Immortal does take down some Marauders. He's got a recall. He's gonna lose one. Does get one Colossus home. Definitely overstayed there. He should have pulled back a little bit earlier or recalled a bit earlier. As it settles, 6 probe advantage to MaxPax. 3 base against 3 base. He's only just started his upgrades, whereas 1-1's finished for Terran. Terran only has 2 medevacs and very little bio still. Like, it's only a few Marauders and Marines. 5 gateways coming up, which is going to make it 8 gate or even 10 gate. He's going to go 10 gate on 3 base. I mean, that's okay. I think he just wants to follow up with another attack. He's like, look, 2 Colossus, Warp Prism. Let's just go for Archon Zealot and try to win. Seems to be the play here. I would have loved a 4th Nexus, but I do think he probably can overwhelm Clem. That being said, Clem's army supply number looks good. He just doesn't have that many units. I guess it's all in production right now. Building so many Marauders and Vikings at once does have its upsides. The Marines out here don't see a 4th base, and that's really big. Clem not seeing a 4th base, he's going to realize, oh, I better be careful at home. I got to survive. 2nd eBay, Armory, Ghost Academy, all those things for the future coming out for Clem. He's also repairing his Vikings and medevacs very wisely. He's now ahead on the income quite significantly, and MaxPax is going for a +1 all-in. A few more pylons coming in. Those will be his last units, and basically I'm going to attack the left, run Zealots in the middle, and see what I can do. There is an observer. I don't know where that observer is. Looks like it is with this army, so he's going to be able to pick off the Widow Mine before it can fire. Remember that observers do have 10 more shields, but that's only to defend the splash from the Widow Mines, nothing else. It's a big attack, though. The Zealots coming in from the bottom will get cleaned up. Oh, those Zealots getting a big Widow Mine hit on them from the left. Warp Prism is a bit far back here. He tries to warp in an Archon. He's trying to fall away. The Viking's doing really well. I think Clem might be safe. Clem just needs to weather this storm, but he's out of medevac healing. Oh, his bio is heavily damaged. Vikings go after the Colossus, though. He gets rid of the Colossus without taking any more shots. If he can just pull the SCVs, I think Clem's fine. I think Clem might be out of the woods. He might be getting the 4-0. Oh my god, I mean, MaxPax made this series have a lot of close games, but at the end of the day, no one's going to remember that the games were close and hard fought if you get 4-0'd, and that is Clem just showing he is a master of the new maps. Taking it down 4-0, we didn't even get to Oceanborn or Sight Delta. GG, well played. Clem with a 4-0 domination.